If you've been wise and found a blaze, look quickly down your quest to cease. But tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace.
Well, welcome to another Forrest Fenn treasure hunt with Follow Your Wanderlust. Anya and I are out here today in Yellowstone National Park, and we happen to be right at the confluence of the Fire Hole and the Nez Perce Creek. For this particular search, it'll be how he wrote the quatrains in his poem. And so how do you describe an area in which to start to search? And one of those ways is to group things together. So we're going to try that today. So begin it where warm waters halt. And that would be the Fire Hole warm waters and the Nez Perce, which is a cooler water creek. Take it in the canyon down. Maybe that's not actually walking in this case. Maybe if you look right here behind me, this is one of the prettiest areas right through here on the Fire Hole River. It's one of the most beautiful areas. Not far, so maybe the treasure isn't too far. Too far to walk. That was maybe when he was younger, and he used to come and he would bathe somewhere in this area. And so maybe that's where he gets the too far to walk part, because it's about 20 miles from West Yellowstone. And then lastly, put in below the home of Brown. The Nez Perce Creek was the very first creek in Yellowstone to receive the German brown trout, and that was in 1890. So we believe this is the home of the brown because of the brown trout. So we'll go over the next quatrain, where we think it might lead us next. We're a little bit farther up the Nez Perce Creek, not too far from the highway. We think this fits in to the third quatrain, I should say, in this one. From there, it's no place for the meek. The end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. Now, what could that mean in this particular area? Well, from there, it's no place for the meek. This is a narrow strip through here is considered a bear management area. The end is ever drawing nigh. We just so happen to be on the left-hand side of the creek. Nigh for horseback riding is left side, so we'll give that a shot. There'll be no paddle up your creek. Well, this is a creek, and I think it's shallow enough that nobody's really going to be paddling here. Heavy loads and water high. Well, heavy loads could also pertain to fishing once again. But standing right here, this is such a beautiful area. You know, I can't help just by looking at this thermal feature I'm standing next to, running into the Nez Creek here, that this wouldn't be possibly an area where Forrest Fenn might, in his youth, come and take a bath where it was more private and away from others. But we'll see, there may be more of them up the creek here. Let's go see where the next quatrain, which would be number 4, leads us.
Not too far in, where we just said it's really no place for the meek. We just found big old bones here. I'll show you right here. Quite a bit of them. I think that this may be a bison, but it could be something else too. Don't know. It's quite large. Don't know about bones. What you think, Bob? What is a bison, you think?
The bones are quite large. Some
a bear?
The leg bones and stuff, and short. So I would think it would be a bison, maybe.
Yeah. Well, this is supposed to be one of the first pretty good fly fishing area right here. This little spot.
Yeah, notice that it kind of makes a Y in the river, and that's with our next quatrain. If you've been wise and found the blaze. And maybe he's talking about fishing once again. And we're going to be checking some areas here where there's these little bars in the center of the creek here that make it a Y shape. So maybe he's not talking about wise as in being wise. He might be, you never know. But, you know, in this case, for this solve, it is if you've been wise. And if you're walking on the Nez side and you start seeing wise, then you have to think of a possibility of how to find the blaze next.
I saw this tree, and you know, he said he loved leaning against the tree and sitting back. And I want to go underneath this tree. It's pretty cool too, as you can see. But look at this. You can see the river here. And there's the Y, the first one. Porcupine. And look there. It used to be a feature there. Like a water coming down. Over here too. See mountains, Bob following a tin can. But this would be a gorgeous spot to sit right here. This tree is not pinon. It kind of looks like a pinon though, but it's not. Very cool spot. I would sit here. I would bury something right here. Well, I'm going to put the camera down, take a little look-see around, and I'll get back to you in just a moment.
Here's something that stands out in this area. There's a rock formation here that's in the wood. Let's check it out.
Okay. Don't know if you heard that, but Bob says there's a rock formation there that stands out, that's in the wood. So we're going to walk up there, take a look at it. It's a gorgeous area. Okay, we got sage. Okay, checking out all the cracks. Bob went up top, found a little plank and some tin cans from the old days. Whew. Mosquito City. Let's see what the view is like here. Oh yeah. That could have been an old spring there, and that could have had a nice bathing hole down below there. Alright. This is what Bob's talking about. Old piece of wood.
I don't notice anything here, so...
Is that old wood?
Just that old piece of wood. It's not too old, it's just the shape of the nail head, but
Okay.
it's been here a while.
Did you check if there's anything written on it?
Nope, there's nothing on it.
Okay. Nothing there. It there is a little bit small. Put anything in. Of course. Oh. Alright. Right here. Some more holes. We did bring a flashlight. Okay. Well, would have been a lovely spot here though. But looks like we gotta keep looking for a little longer. So, supposedly this is another great fly fishing area. It's a little bit faster flowing. They say the fish like to sit somewhere behind, on their bank, behind a boulder, and have their mouth open upstream to catch their food. So this would be a good area, I guess. Alright, did we want to go up further then?
Yeah, let's get to the other side of this line.
Take a look over there.
Up here.
That's definitely in the wood over there.
Yeah, it is.
Alright. Bob's checking another rock formation out here. And I'm standing in the shade real quick. It's pretty hot right now. And it's pretty neat while he's out there. I'll wait for his cries of joy. This is a really pretty little area here. Shaded, off the trail, not too far. There's, right where this rubble is a old stinky spring. See, here's the end of that Y. And there's nobody here. It's just peaceful. While I'm talking to you, I'm kind of looking around me. Because this is bear management area. See Bob's red backpack there. He brought it just in case we find it. We need something big to carry that stuff back with. And we know we're going to find it. It'll take a lifetime to do it, maybe.
Well, as we're walking along here, all of a sudden we see a fire pit, maybe a blaze. Interesting though that there's a bison horn laying next to it.
Let me check that out. You sure it's not wood?
No, it's... I'll pick it up and put it back, but if I listen...
Oh yeah.
You can tell it's bone.
Old bone.
Yeah, this was a pretty good fire at one time.
Yeah.
I don't see any trash in it or anything.
No. This is a beautiful spot. It's like one of the bends right here. Beautiful
Kick some
area.
dirt around a little bit.
We did just saw some claw marks on a tree. So we gotta really watch where we are. There's a lot of green in this river too, like he likes.
Yeah, I don't think anything's underneath this little fire area here. Kind of kicked around a little bit, see if there was anything underneath, but there wasn't. But it reminds me of a story that during one of Forrest Fenn'S interviews where he would go out and catch a fish in a creek or a few of them, and then he would go up and sit in the shade somewhere up against a tree and make a fire. He would cook one of the fish that he'd caught. At one time, I guess you could do that in Yellowstone. It wasn't catch and release like we talked about before. You could catch something, make a fire right there where you're at, cook it up, eat it, you know, because you're out in the wild, I guess.
Yeah, sit under a nice tree, watch the river go by. Perfect.
Perfect, yeah, it's beautiful here.
Well, as you can see, we're really in the woods here, close to the water, but it's pretty thick. Got our bear spray out, and from here we gotta stick together, and really can't film too much until we get to the open where we have a little bit more protection and look around us. So we'll film again in a little bit. Well, from here this area gets a little harder for an 80-year-old man to go. There's a lot of downwood, and so we are gonna think about some other stuff and look on our way back on some of the spots that we thought may have been possibilities, and we may have to go across. Alright, we're going to sit down and think about what we're going to do next. Maybe even have a little sandwich. He said it's not off a man-made trail, but what a beautiful spot to lay your body and a chest to rest. Heavy loads water high.
If you've been wise and found a blaze, look quickly down your quest to seeks.